Hello everybody and welcome to Anti-MLM Vlogmas 23. I'm Christine. I'm glad you're here. 2 more videos. After this one more, and then Vlogmas 2025 is over. That was quite a ride, or is quite a ride. All of the filming, all of the editing, each and every day a new video. I do have mad respect for the people who do that every single year around Christmas, who are vloggers, who film their days, who edit the videos and then upload everything in the evening. That is a lot of work. I do like, and I did like this challenge, but I'm also looking forward to the little break coming up now. Today, we're going to take a look at somebody who also had to take a break from losing money. Thank you for sending these things my way. Today we're going to take a look at Afnan Khalifa yet again, who was in iGenius, and this time she has a coming to Jesus moment, if you will, because she will explain to us how she lost over $700,000 in just a couple of years. So we will listen what she has to teach us, because after all, she was in iGenius, a financial literacy MLM, where allegedly you don't need to know anything. You just sign up as a customer or as a distributor, and then there are systems in place that teach you. And then at some point, while you let the AI work for you, you can also get knowledgeable yourself by taking a look at the extended information in the library and the experts that work for iGenius that teach you how you can be good at trading. So let's take a look if anything stuck with her. Let's get into the video how she lost over $700,000 in just 3 years.
Everybody wants to talk about how much money they've made. The wins, the success, the up years, the 7-figure years. But nobody wants to talk about the losses. In the past 3 years, I have lost over $700,000 from bad investments to market crashes to me trusting people with money. They either lost it or just never really gave it back. And I'm telling you this not because I want sympathy, but because losing that $700,000 taught me more about business, money, people, more than making $1 million ever did. So in today's video, I'm gonna be breaking down how I lost the $700,000 and what are the lessons that it taught me, because at the end of the day, if you're someone that wants to create wealth, you are gonna lose money. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So let's dive right into this juicy story of mine on how I lost $700,000. Let's go. And guys, I just finished dinner here in Dubai, so now we're gonna drive home. I'm gonna be chatting with you guys because I love you guys so much. She's looking at us, we're looking at him. Who's gonna not look at the other person? I love when people stare. Of course they're gonna stare. It's dark and there's a flash in my face in a car, a big Rolls Royce that almost feels like a yacht that I'm driving. But anyway, let's get right into it.
I think it is because it's dark and you have light set up in your car. People in Dubai, they don't stare at you because you drive a Rolls Royce. Okay, people have better cars, pricier cars, they're special editions. They're not even batting an eye when somebody's driving by with a Rolls Royce. Honest question though, I mean, I wouldn't want a Rolls Royce, but if you wanted to, would you choose an orange interior? That's a choice, I would say. That's not what the video is about, but the orange interior really disturbs me. I wouldn't spend my money on an orange car. Nah.
So let me tell you exactly where the $700,000 actually went. Number one, it went to bad investments that I have done. The first bad investments was businesses that I've actually wanted to invest in because I believed in the person, but it looked good on paper, but it did not deliver, and that business specifically filed bankruptcy, and we did not end up making not even $1. Another bad investments that I have probably put so much money on is market crashes and investments in the financial markets before I learned what to actually do. So before I learned about the financial markets and how to analyze them properly, I would invest in things because people told me without doing my own research, and this is the number one mistake people always do. They buy off hype, off the fear of missing out, and you end up losing a lot of money because you have no knowledge. And this is why I tell people always get knowledgeable about things. And then with people, right? With people, I have trusted so many people that told me, oh my God, give me $100,000. I'm gonna flip it to $300,000. I mean, that's now that I'm telling you, you'll be like, Afnan, how did you even ever believe that? But when it's someone close to you, you actually believe them. 40,000 here, 100,000 here, 50,000, and I was making a lot of money. So, oh, you just want 100,000, you're gonna turn it into $300,000, $400,000. That sounds like an amazing investment. I had to also understand that is not a realistic investment. Some of them disappeared with the money, some of them just never returned it, and we didn't have contracts or anything, so it was just like a loss for me, I guess. Even things that I have overpaid because I was making money, so I was trying to be generous, and friends that took advantage, even sometimes family members that, you know, they just expected me to be, I'm not talking about mom, dad, I'm talking about far family, because I'm making money, expected me to pay for the wedding. I'm like, pay for the wedding? What about my wedding? And I ended up paying for the wedding, which is insane. That's another story for another day.
Yeah, and that's also not an investment. That is you being allegedly gullible to paying family members expenses because they want a lavish wedding. That's not a bad investment. That is just you spending money on somebody else's wedding. You could also just say no. I don't quite get that part of the story. What I find interesting, though, is she spoke about, or she set this entire thing up as she lost $700,000 over the last 3 years. I do not know when she stopped doing iGenius, but she should have learned if iGenius is such a reputable network marketing company and offers such a great service and such a great back end and such a great platform to the people who subscribe to it, that over the course of her time in iGenius, shouldn't she have learned something about investment? Because the things she says here are very basic, in my opinion. They sound very generic. There are not a lot of specifics there, but bad investments that were based on hype, you were handing money over to people you personally knew. Isn't that something, or something very basic, that you should know about investing? There's nothing wrong with investing in products that are hyped or in companies that are hyped. The most important thing in investing is don't invest money if you cannot afford it. Don't invest money if you need that money to finance your life. That, in my opinion, is always the most important thing about investing. And if you want to invest in hype products or in hyped companies at the stock market, that's also completely okay. But of course, there's a certain risk that you might lose all of that money. But it could also be beneficial. Typically, those are the short-term investments. Something is being hyped up, you have good timing, you get in early, you sell it, that's it. And the others are the long-term investments that are not necessarily connected to hype. They're safer, but the return on investment is also not as great as the hyped products might be, or the hyped companies, or the hyped stock might be. Shouldn't she know this if she were in iGenius? And iGenius was allegedly such a great platform to teach financial literacy. Apparently not. And either she's really gullible or she plays dumb on purpose to say, I lost so much money and now I'm going to teach you why. But there are not a lot of specifics there. Instead, it seems very generic, and also, at least so far, as all of her videos, very much self-promotional, because of course she had to point out that she was sitting in an, well, I'm pointing out, it's orange, in an orange Rolls Royce, and people are staring at her because her Rolls Royce is so big, it's almost like driving a ship through the streets of Dubai. It's like, no, it's because it's dark and you have a light set up in your car, but it's important to mention and to show I'm in a Rolls Royce. It's a really big one. It's not a small one. And then it's also rather self-promotional to say, I was able to lose $700,000 on the most stupid things, but I learned a lot from that. So far, it seems like I was so successful, I made so much money, and then I had to learn how to really invest and how to really work with that money. So trust me, by my courses, my 20,000 masterclass courses that a lot of people are really unhappy with. So far, self-promotional and very generic. Not a lot of specifics, and that is typical for her and for the people she connects herself with. I think once you really beat them down on, that's the wrong phrasing, once you really want to know specifics and you really try to pull specific information out of them, they break down because they don't have anything specific to say.
Bless them, you know, God blesses you so you can bless others, I guess. These are all things that add up, and now that I'm looking at it, it was a lot of mistakes that I have learned from. The emotional toll that a lot of these losses took on me, right? I felt like I can't even trust myself with money, because every single time I make it and I'm trying to invest it, I end up losing it, I end up wasting it, I end up spending it. So I almost started having that fear with money, that money can come to me, but it doesn't stay with me because I don't know what to do with it. I felt like a failure every single time I lost money because, again, why is money not staying with me? So the first thing that losing $700,000 taught me was, before I lost it, I've attached my identity and my worth to the money in my bank account. So if I had money, that meant that I am worth whatever it is. I am valuable. And when I did not have money, I suddenly became not valuable. And that was how I perceived my value.
That is not helpful. That is not valuable. That is mindset bibbledy-bobbledy-boo. Those are not practical tips about how you deal with money, how you invest money, and what you actually learn from losing money, investing badly. What are the specifics? Come on.
It wasn't by what I bring to the table. It wasn't by my brain. It wasn't by my skills. It was just like, oh, I have a lot of money. Okay, I'm worth it in this life. If I don't, I'm not worth it. And then after I lost the $700,000, I realized that money is just a tool. Money comes and goes. It's a tool that I should trust that always more is going to be coming. I should take more risks, but calculated risks that I actually understand, not just wanting to get rich quick with the money that I am making. And I understood that because I've lost it and I've made more after, that my value is in my skills, is in how my brain actually thinks and works, in the knowledge. Because that $700,000, we made it back and we made 10x that money because we know and we understood how business actually works, how money actually works. And this was the biggest lesson for me when it comes to money. So I just understood that when you lose money, it doesn't make you a failure. It actually just makes you experienced with money.
I'm not surprised that her master classes apparently don't go well down with her clients saying, it's really not worth it. What are the specifics? How does your brain work? What goes on in your brain when you lose money? And what do you change after best investments to not lose the money you make from there on? Just to tell yourself, well, money is just a tool and it comes and goes. And, if you lose it, you make more money. What specifically did your master brain do to generate more money? And how did you invest it smarter after you lost $700,000? This is bibbly-babbly-boo. Once again, very generic information, but nothing specific. How is somebody supposed to be, other than inspired by this, how is somebody supposed to actually work with that information? I lost money, now I'm doing better, teach me. I doubt that she can do that. The poor suckers who attended her master classes and actually spent over $20,000 on them, because if that is what she teaches you, then you could just burn the money. You truly could.
Because you lost it, you got it back. Now it just means that you can handle money and you can handle a lot of it and you can handle risk. And the shift of that, it made me trust myself and go from a scarcity mindset around money, like I need to hold onto money, and money is very hard to make and I cannot lose $1, I cannot do bad investments, to having the abundance mindset that I know how to make money, and that quiet confidence that whatever I put my hands on, it turns into gold. And that was the biggest shift that losing that $700,000 gave me. Now, this next lesson probably cost me the most amount of money, which is not trusting my gut. When people were telling me, and these were experts telling me to invest in things, and I had this gut feeling that, wait, there's some red flags, there's things that don't make sense, there's numbers that don't add up. But because I did not want to sound like a headache or that I was not knowledgeable, I was like, okay, let's do it, because I didn't want them to be like, what do you mean? Like, of course this is like that. And that just fear of judgment from these people and not trusting my own judgment and my own self when, again, I'm not knowledgeable about these things. But why would I trust someone when you see the red flag? So when something shows you what it is, believe it the first time. Like, red flags are a real thing. Gut protection is a real thing. When something feels off, it probably is. And you need to trust your judgment and not question it.
Well, you do need to question your judgment. I think the gut feeling, I have a gut feeling that there is a lot of PS here. My gut feeling tells me that she probably doesn't have a lot to give you and her audience as practical tips how to become rich and famous and successful. Your gut feeling, in all honesty, is very important. It is good. I think everybody experiences that in their job and also in whatever other fields of life. I have that in my job regularly. The gut feeling is important. Also when it comes to investments, but don't follow your gut feeling. Put proof, put facts behind those feelings. I work in the media industry and it is part of my job to watch a lot of content and to see when and where and how the content can be played, what age it would be appropriate for, where are certain sensitivities for certain type of content for certain territories. If I were to listen to my gut feeling, then I would be doing a bad job because I need to know the legal regulation in the background and put facts behind my gut feeling. And sometimes my gut feeling is right, thinking, this feels wrong. Younger children, an audience under 6 or under 12 shouldn't be exposed to this type of content, but I don't quite know why. And then I take a look at the regulation, I speak to experienced colleagues, we exchange information, think, okay, that is the reason why. Very good point. And I will limit the content to an older age group, for example. Or what also can happen is I have a personal bias where I'm currently personally affected by something very private, a very private matter, and that's why I'm very sensitive towards content. In that case, it doesn't make sense, for example, to restrict content just because I'm sensitive for it, but it is content that is fine for a younger audience. That is a random example, but that is something that happens in my everyday life, to take a look at a lot of content and to decide who is it appropriate for or who could be damaged by watching the content, and how do we protect our audience from watching something they shouldn't see, and how do we protect the company as well. But it is important to put facts behind that gut feeling. There is information behind that gut feeling. To just trust your gut feeling is not good. It might be different in your personal life, especially as a woman, you're out and about, something happens, you're not too happy, you don't know what it is, but something feels off with somebody who is in a close proximity to you maybe, and in that case, you better leave. And afterwards you think, well, maybe I did overreact a little bit, but in order to save yourself, in order to save your own well-being, that would be a good choice. And you can ask and question that later. Think, okay, fight or flight, I'm going to leave. That's a very drastic example maybe, but in that case, it would make sense to trust your gut feeling and put thought and put facts into that afterwards. That's why we have that gut feeling, to survive. It's one of our ancient traits and it's actually quite helpful. But when it comes to jobs and when it comes to a profession, in her case, in financial education, that's what she did before, or in investments, put facts behind that gut feeling. Don't just act because of a guardian angel or because of your gut feeling.
So what I learned is I actually trust my gut feeling, my gut intuition more than people's analysis. If you ask someone a question and they get defensive, that's always a red flag that they're hiding something. So be very, very aware of these things and be extremely alert, because if they get defensive, not just explain to you exactly why and give you extreme proof, it is for the one reason that they're scamming you.
That's just stupid. Maybe you just don't connect with the person. Put facts behind that analysis and that information yourself. Don't just trust your gut feeling. Don't be gullible. Do your own research, yes. But to just trust your own gut feeling over analysis? Come on.
They are literally finessing you, stealing money from you, taking your hard-earned money, and you should not believe them. So now I'm in a stage in my life where I only invest in things I actually understand. If I don't understand it, if I have no knowledge on it, there's no reason I should actually invest in it until I educate myself. And if I ask a simple question and they get defensive, that's a red flag. And we gotta understand that someone else's confidence in something, that doesn't mean that they're right. It just means that they're confident about it. But remember, if they are wrong, you're the only person that is actually gonna pay for the price of that decision. Now, I'm not saying you should never have any mistakes. I'm grateful for the mistakes that I have done because these were amazing lessons that I have learned from. And you can learn as well from all the lessons and all the money that you're going to be losing.
But that means that she doesn't just trust her gut feeling or her guardian angel. It's one aspect of making business, whatever investments she is doing. because she said, if I don't understand something, I don't invest in it. So you do your research. Analysis and information is important. Which one is it?
Now, this one hurt the most because it was actually personal, and it was really, friends that saw my success as an opportunity for them to really have me pay for everything. People, experts that, overcharged me and underdelivered, or even just never returned the money that I gave them. People that borrowed money without the intention of returning it. Even business partners that took advantage and only cared about their outcome, not if I'm losing money or making money. And that probably was the most painful lesson amongst all. So I had to understand that being generous doesn't mean that you're gonna be naive. Not everyone deserves access to your money. It's your hard-earned money. And I also learned that you can't buy loyalty. That's a very expensive trait that people don't really have much of it. In today's world, in my world, I don't lend money anymore. If someone wants money and I want to give them the money because I want to actually give them, I give them the money. I don't expect it to be returned because most likely they won't even return it. And another boundary that I have had is business is business. Before I do business, I check track record, I ask around, I need proof, I need resources, I need contracts. Business, it's firm, it's tight. I don't care if we're friends. If we're doing business, it has to be by the books. So some people are gonna get upset because you have boundaries. Let them get upset. The true friends, they won't get upset because of your boundaries. They're gonna respect you even more and they're gonna understand.
This is just basic blah, blah, blah. Get a contract when you do business. Don't trust people. Don't lend them money. Those are not business tips. I mean, she said what she learned because she lost $700,000 over the course of 3 years, but she's mixing up different things. Businesses she invested in, people who took her money and then just ghosted her. That is fraudulent. I would say you could also follow up there legally. And then because she overpaid other people or because she borrowed or gifted them money and now she's setting boundaries. I wish people were to set boundaries with her and were to say, you know what? I do not want to purchase your overpriced classes because I see on YouTube that you don't really have factual information to offer. This is just a bunch of generic blah, 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 showing off how allegedly successful she is by sitting in a Rolls Royce and telling the world, I was able to lose $700,000. That wasn't great, but I made more money afterwards and now I'm investing it better. But I'm not giving you specifics. I'm not telling you what you have to do. I'm just doing gibbly babbly bibbledy babbly gubbledy goop while I'm driving through Dubai in a luxury car, spewing nonsense. Nothing has changed in her videos.
And here's what separates people that will recover from the ones that will not recover. The people that will not recover are gonna look at it as a permanent loss, as in they're not good enough, as in it was just a one-hit wonder luck that they made money and now they can't get it back. It will traumatize them. It will hurt their ego. They're gonna go on a down spiral. They're never gonna take risks again. They're never gonna spend money again. They're gonna hoard on their money. They will end up even going back to, the job that they had or so on and so forth, and not really trusting their gut anymore. Now, the people that actually recover from it, they look at it as a lesson and they say, oh wow, I actually gained an experience that maybe I would not have gained if I did not lose. So now how can I take that lesson and apply it to my life, to my business, so I can even make 10x what I lost? And this is what separates the people who recover, that will be like, okay, great lesson, now I need to take even bigger risks, now this is exciting, from people that will just go on a downward spiral. So here's what I did when I actually lost $700,000. I made sure I sat down, took the lessons.
What lessons?
Now I moved with even a better mindset.
Okay.
So much experience. I learned how to be sharper, how to read people even better, how to look at businesses and know if it's going to be a good business or a failed business.
The irony though, so these are not real business tips. It's about mindset. It's mindset lessons that she wants to teach, because I believe she cannot teach actual hard facts, actual hard business lessons. And since she sells courses where she will very likely also teach you a lot about mindset and about brainwashing yourself into believing that money is just a tool and money comes and goes and you can make more money afterwards, you could conveniently just buy into her courses. This is generic blah 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 based on mindset, not on business facts. Please don't buy into that crap. She just wants to sell you her courses. They're very likely also linked in the description box under the YouTube video.
I learned how to do more calculated risks because, again, it hurt me that I lost $700,000. So I had to really sit down with myself and see what went wrong and how can we never repeat that mistake ever again, and how can we grow from it and make even more money.
Except we're missing that specific information, what she learned and what her lessons are. Make contracts. Don't work with your family. Don't work with friends. Set boundaries. Okay, got it.
So long story short, the biggest lesson was I realized that money is not security. My skills are. That is the biggest security that keeps me winning over and over because I can never lose my skills. Money comes and goes all the time, but my skills is what's gonna keep me going, making more, elevating, growing my businesses, helping others as well make millions of dollars in any business. So if you have lost money and you're wondering how you can actually grow,
steps to recover, buy into my courses so that I can teach you how you can make millions as well, allegedly,
and come back from it, here's the 5-step recovery plan. Number 1, you want to stop the bleeding. It means no emotional decisions anymore to make it back quickly. Cut that shit out. We're not gonna do that, which takes me to the second step, which is extract the lesson, see what did it teach you, and what red flags have we avoided and ignored that next time we're never gonna ignore them again. The third step is you wanna rebuild your judgment. Start making decisions, calculated decisions, do your research. So one decision at a time, you build that confidence back that you can actually trust yourself and you can trust your gut because it is literally your guidance. And number 4, focus on income, not on recovery. Just focus on how can I make an income now and grow the income instead of how can I make it back fast because I don't want to lose and I don't lose. That is the mindset that will keep you losing over and over because your mind, your judgment is literally jaded. And number 5, use it as fuel. Let that loss fuel you that, wow, you literally lost a lot of money. Now you're gonna get back even bigger, even further. That money is not even worth it for you. It's this little money that you're gonna make millions after that's gonna make you forget everything that you actually lost. Losing $700,000 was one of the best things that have ever happened to me because of the lessons it has taught me. It has taught me that my value is not with my money, it's with my skills. It taught me that I should trust my own gut and my own judgment because it is literally my guardian angel.
And it makes her very relatable to an audience of people who also financially struggle. Maybe they haven't lost a lot of money, but it makes her more relatable. She is one of us. She is one of the crowd. Well, she is one of the people. She's one of the ordinary bloats. And she also lost a lot of money. So if you are in financially difficult times, in financially difficult situations, maybe something you worked for went out of business, maybe you were laid off, maybe you wanted to start your own digital marketing business, then don't take a look at those losses. Invest money, see it as a tool, and somebody, I don't know, who is really interested in mindset, who overcame loss of $700,000, that person can conveniently teach you because they have classes and courses you can purchase for a lot of money. Don't take a look at the money. Don't let the loss hold you back, but let it fuel you into buying my courses. Blech.
And it also taught me that not everyone should get access to my money or even my trust. And most importantly, it taught me that I can lose.
That's what you learn when you're 5-year-old and you're in the kindergarten or in preschool. Don't give other people money. Don't trust strangers on the street. That's what you learn when you were 5 years old. Well, I learned that growing up in Berlin. Hello.
Everything, and I can rebuild it all back up because you can take all my money, but you cannot take my skills, my knowledge, the information, the person it took to make that money in the first place.
And conveniently, she can teach you that information and how to have those skills. So if you lose money, you conveniently can get back to the skills she taught you in her classes? Is that it? It's a sales pitch. Let's be honest here. Buy my courses while I drive through Dubai in an ugly orange Rolls Royce.
So make sure if you've ever lost money, don't let it, and you're gonna lose. If you're trying to create a real wealth, you're gonna lose the money, but make sure you don't make it break you, but take the lessons and rebuild it 10x even bigger. And as you guys know, in the brand code, my program that have changed thousands of women and men's lives, we actually make sure you are getting all these experiences without even losing a lot of money. Now you're gonna lose, but to get all these lessons and get that knowledge, that $1 million business, that $1 million brand, without losing thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So make sure you check the link in the description to join the waitlist for the brand code, and make sure you take these lessons, take them in, and make sure next time you lose money in business, you learn the lessons and you grow from it even 10x bigger. I love you guys, and let's make $1 million so losing money is the last of our worries. Bye guys.
It's not any of our worries because conveniently the brand code classes she teaches, they can teach us how to 10x our income. True business professionals, true business advisors, they're probably vomiting in the corner now, or they're laughing, tears streaming down their face because they think, who really buys into this stuff? Unfortunately, there are more than enough vulnerable people who buy into this narrative that money is just a tool and it's a consistent flow and money comes and money leaves. And if you see it as that and your mindset is in the right place and you know you have the tools to always make money, then you will be good. Buy my course and then you can be as successful as I am allegedly. That is such a pile of poo, all right? And the car is ugly. I said it. Why, if you have the money to get a nice car, number one, why get a Rolls Royce? Did you ever drive in the streets of Dubai? Because yours truly has. You want to be in a big SUV because it's dangerous out there, okay? Yes, flashy, nice cars, but there are so many accidents in the cities and also in the desert. You want to have a big ass car in case you are in a crash. Luckily it never was, but it's not pretty out there, okay? It's not pretty in the streets of Dubai if you are like in a little small car, or if you're in a low car like a Rolls Royce. You want to be... But I guess that's not flashy enough. That's not the topic of the video, but it always bugs me when people drive in these luxurious, really, really close to the street cars. Also the Lamborghini she rents out. I'm sure she rents out her cars. Those are probably not even her own. It's not safe. And driving in Dubai, especially at night, people are nuts, okay? People are crazy. So if you take any advice, take that advice from me. If you're ever in Dubai and you get a rental car, don't spend your money on creepy shit. Get a safe car, get a big car, get an SUV. It's actually worth it when you're in Dubai. This was a bunch of nonsense, as is expected from Afnan. And I would say that a lot of people who took her courses very likely disagree with her because the Trustpilot reviews for her latest over $20,000 masterclass, they're not good. And a lot of people say this is a scam. It's like she's operating a pyramid scheme with these courses and it was not worth the money. We got cold pizza, we got spoiled sushi, it was a bunch of blah blah, no actual business tips, just mindset. And I think she's repeating exactly that. So let's not support this in 2026 and let's not purchase pricey classes that will only do one thing: fill up the bank accounts of those who give the classes. Let me know your thoughts on orange Rolls Royce. I would really love to get your feedback there. I had cars in various colors and orange was never one of them. I had a rusty bronze at some point. That wasn't pretty as well, but that was a Ford car. A friend of mine called that car an elephant roller skate, and he wasn't wrong because of the shape of the car. But yeah, orange, no. Yellow, no. Red, pink, purple, blue, yeah, I could go with that. I'm a very colorful person myself. You cannot see that today, but I do like color as well. But orange in a Rolls Royce, come on. This was Anti-MLM Vlogmas 23. One more video to go. The one tomorrow will be... well, you will have to tune in tomorrow if you want to see it. Thank you for your support. Thank you for showing up. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss out on further uploads. I have an entire playlist, Anti-MLM Vlogmas 2025. If you don't want to watch a new video each and every day, but you want to catch up over the holidays, maybe you also have some time off or at the beginning of the next year, the videos are always available there. And if you liked this video, then hopefully I will see you tomorrow on the last day of Anti-MLM Vlogmas on day 24. Until then, tschüss!